Welcome all to the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course, hearing about how fantastic, I don't know, what are we up to? Blah, 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 blahs are in Toyotas? Then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and germs. My name is Tyler, and joining me once again for episode, what is this, 401?
Yep.
Wow. Rolling the clock over. We got Jimmy Jet back here in the studio. He hasn't left us yet.
Nope, not yet.
Darn, can't get rid of you now.
Not that easy. Nope, sorry.
Oh man. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Life's going well for the most part. It's been a crazy week for me as well. Yeah, crashing into things and as you know.
Yeah.
But otherwise, besides that, it's been a busy week, but it's going well. How are you?
Good. Doing well. I'm hanging in there. I don't know what day or even time it is right now, but you know, it's it's
Tuesday,
rolling along.
Almost lunchtime.
Oh, geez. Okay. Oh man. Yeah. Interesting things have come up that, we'll see how they play out. We may have a fun story for everybody later in the week.
I think you will.
Yeah, man, we're just we're cruising along and working on getting everything set up for the PSI Pro compressors. That's kind of consuming my life right now. So
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And those happen to be our giveaway item for this month.
They are for about a week here, roughly.
Yeah. Pretty close. So if you want to get a PSI Pro, either 10.6 or 5.6 for your vehicle or for your use, you can do that on Irate 4x4. You just go down to the watch, listen, discuss section, Snail Trail 4x4 form, and then on the right side on a PC or at the bottom on a mobile device is where you sign up.
Cool. I like it, man. Yeah, they're coming along, and we got the retail boxes done. I contracted Mr. B. Murphy.
Nice. Super producer. Cool.
And then he was like, hey man, that was kind of a fun project. Let me know if you have any more. So
sure. I
had some other ideas in mind, and I was like, hey, have you ever designed car wraps before?
Oh.
He goes, no, but I think you'd be a great guinea pig. I said, sweet. So I kind of just was like, I'm thinking about wrapping the 4Runner after the suspension and axles get done. And so I kind of told him my ideas of doing a neon green digital camo.
Okay. Interesting.
And it looks amazing.
Does it?
Yes.
Okay. I think
the design he came up with.
Freaking busy.
Yeah, it's kind of out there.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
So, if I don't know if, and here's an interesting thought is I don't know if you can vinyl wrap raisins.
Yeah.
So
yes, I believe you can.
You can really?
I'm sure you can. I mean, they vinyl wrap like a hood, and hood has contours and dips and, stuff in it. I don't know if you can, how far in that all works or, I'm not 100% sure, but I would assume they could, or they just might leave it straight and it won't look bad.
Bondo it underneath or something?
No, they'll just leave the vinyl gap.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
That's funny.
And you'll have a straight bodied vehicle again until you hit something, and then it'll just rub off.
Yeah. Rip all the vinyl off on one side. I'm getting kind of giddy looking and kind of planning out what the 4Runner is going to end up looking like maybe by the end of the next month. So anyways, that was just fun. Let's see. We got that. We have finally got all the details for the next reviews giveaway, which we talked about in the last episode. But yeah, Yokohama is stepping up, and they've agreed to do a set of tires, pretty much of the winner's choice.
Yeah, for the most part. There are some rules and regulations around it, but probably nothing you're really going to want anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to stay smaller than a 20-inch wheel, and you're not allowed to have slicks and race tires.
Yeah. Or stickies.
Yeah.
So that pretty much opens it up to like almost all of their commercial,
pretty much any other tire that they make.
Yeah. Yep. My 37s came in.
Did they?
The XAT Geolander. So the extreme all-terrains. In 37s.
13.5s?
I believe so.
Wow, nice.
They're a meaty little all-terrain, man.
Yes, they are. I'm looking at them through the window right now. Not your 37s, but the one you have on the F-150.
The 32s.
32s,
on the F-150,
yeah. And they're a great tire. I mean, I have those on Charlotte and the Tacoma, and they drive great. They wheel great. They're not loud really at all for an AT and how aggressive they look. I'm very happy with those tires.
I've been super happy with them too. And I think that they're, in my opinion, like one of the best top, kind of like more overlanding style tire, where you're not going to be really needing to hook up on pretty gnarly rock ledges and rock outcroppings and stuff. You mainly just need traction when you want traction.
Yeah.
And good road manners, because you're spending a lot of time on the road with kind of overlanding style. So these are going to be going on the Bronco, and they're hefty. 5 of them stacked up. I couldn't get them into the pallet racking, so they're just sitting on the floor in the warehouse.
Oh yeah. You couldn't lift that 5th one up there?
Nope.
Yeah,
no, they don't fit between the shelves. Yeah, they're too tall stacked up. So
yeah. They're nice. That's for sure. I'm excited to see that on the Bronco. That'll be good. Did you see BG's story about the 37s on his Bronco?
No.
I don't know the extent of what happened, but supposedly the tire hit the fender or wheel well somehow and crinkled part of his fender.
Like the exterior, the outer fender or the inner fender?
The outer fender.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah. I don't know if the secretary would agree with your an attitude on that.
He doesn't have the Sasquatch, does he?
I don't know what he has. Yeah, I don't know if he has a Sasquatch edition. All I know is that he has a whitish Forerunner Bronco, and it's on 37s, and then they were wheeling pretty hard and it crinkled part of the fender.
Interesting.
Exterior.
Yeah, I do know, like, there's going to be a couple of things I'm going to have to trim. Like, there's a weird square tube that comes out into the fender well that has nothing attached to it.
Yeah, it's probably a bash bar.
I'm wondering, no, it's on the firewall side.
Oh.
So like, I'm wondering if they're using that chassis for multiple purposes like Toyota does.
Probably.
And so in other vehicles, that bar gets used for maybe a body mount or something, but it's not being used at all in the Bronco. So I'm like, oh, we'll just cut that out of there. This is not doing anything.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other spots I think I'm going to need to trim, but supposedly the Sasquatch has more opened up fender wells and outer fenders.
Yeah. So contact him. He'll be able to tell you what happened. I just saw it on one of his stories.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they got back and they're like, everything's great except for the Bronco has this creased fender right here.
That's funny.
So yeah, that was sort of a bummer for him. But if you do cut off that bar, you should probably call Lee Solve Function and have them 3D print you a plug.
Oh, a plug to put in it?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Put a little MFR plug in there or something.
Yeah, there you go. Neon green.
Yeah.
The white MF.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. And then that way just muck doesn't get inside of there, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. Cool.
Sweet, man. Let's see. Today's Thursday.
Yeah, I have one other small announcement to make.
Okay.
Well, since we're doing all of those, it seems like I am working with Lawless Corey.
Cool.
And you are as well, but you're not going to be there for this event.
Yeah.
We are meeting so we're doing a flex tool showdown or something. I don't know what the exact name of it is, but we're going to be down in Sacramento on July 15th. And we're going to be meeting at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet down off of Power Inn Road.
Cool.
I'm not entirely sure about time. I believe it'll be around lunchtime because there is going to be a taco truck there. There is an option to get free tacos. I'm not entirely sure the details of that yet. You might need to purchase a tool to get free tacos. Maybe there will be some special free tacos for listeners that show up. We'll try to figure out more of those details as we get closer to the date. But you're going to be out on the Rubicon that weekend.
Not sure about the Rubicon. I think it's the Mad Hatter's summer picnic weekend.
Oh, okay.
Where we do a picnic barbecue. Usually we do it up at Golden Lake, but Golden Lake is still under a bunch of snow.
Okay. So it sounds like you're going to do the picnic down at the Power Inn Tool meetup and hang out with everybody. You can, I'm pretty sure I can get you permission to just set up the camping situation there.
Yeah. We'll just set up all of the Mad Hatters, all the Gazelle tents.
Exactly. All over there.
Gazelle City.
I'll just get a few RTI ramps so you can feel like you did a little wheeling.
Sweet.
We'll set that up. We'll see you can climb up and over one of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Funny.
That'll be good. Well, cool. So anyways, I'm extending that out to the listeners. If you guys are available that weekend, I'd love to have you out. Come say hi to me. I'll have some swag stuff to hand out, stickers, maybe some koozies. We can get you some tacos, and we'd love to show off the Flex brand with you guys as well.
Sweet. Yeah, we got a couple of the 1/2-inch high torque impacts. Yeah. So I haven't gotten to play with mine yet.
Oh yeah.
But I'm hoping to this weekend.
Yeah.
Hopefully before.
When I helped Corey install his bed cover, we got to play with one. We ripped on and off some lug nuts on Bobcat. And that thing screams, man. It's got ugga-duggas for days. That's for sure.
That's cool. Well, cool. We've mentioned it past, but we're going to mention it again just so that everybody is aware that you need to be listening and staying current on the episodes next month.
In a few weeks.
Yeah. Pretty much starting June 1st.
Yeah.
So,
yep, I think so.
Make sure you guys are skipping ahead. If you're behind on episodes, you want to stay current during Tool Month, Power Tool Month.
Yes.
So
Power Tool Month, which is exciting. Yeah, we're going to be doing stuff on Instagram. We're going to be doing stuff through the Facebook and probably here on the podcast, all different kind of things happening around. So I think the podcast is going to be the central hub for what's going on. So you guys need to pay attention to the podcast to find out what you need to do in other locations.
Yep, exactly. So if you've been listening before and have participated in Tool Month in the past, you're going to want to participate again. It's going to be awesome. So
yeah, this is our third go round, isn't it? This is awesome. This one might have the most value to it.
I don't know. Maybe
it's up there.
Yeah.
We had a lot of money in the last one.
Well, the first one we did where Joey DeSalt won. That one.
He won an entire toolbox. Yeah. Did he win tools for it too?
Yes.
Oh yeah. That was a lot.
I want to say that one was like $10,000 to $12,000 in tools that he won.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's going to be really cool. Pay attention starting June 1st. We got some fun activities over on the medias of Social Lights and here on the podcast as well. So make sure you're tuning in, listening, because you're not going to want to miss Tool Month again this year.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Anything else? We're getting to the end of the month. So do we have the giveaway lined up for next month? I thought we did, but now I'm trying to think. I don't remember what it was, but I thought we had it lined up.
We have. I think I just need to finalize it.
Gotcha.
With the person. But we're in the final. I think I just need to say, all right, we're ready.
Okay. Perfect.
And then we'll move forward. But let me do that before we announce it. Yeah.
Okay. I did get in contact with Super WINCH.
Oh,
yeah.
Super WINCH. Okay. Interesting.
Yep. So, they are interested in doing essentially a big group buy.
Timeout. Sorry to interrupt. Next month's giveaway is going to be something that has to do with 2 a month.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yes. That's what it was.
So that makes sense. I'm in communication for something that is the following month.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Super WINCH. Yes. Continue.
Super WINCH. So we mentioned, we went down a little bit of a rabbit hole on another previous episode about winches and how I was looking to get some winches. You're looking at getting a couple winches and other people are looking at getting some winches. And so I talked around to a few different companies and looked into the little bit more specifics and details of other companies' winches. And I decided that Super WINCH is the one company I want to go with.
Okay. Interesting.
The models that they make are pretty much exactly what I'm looking for out of a winch.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So why Super WINCH out of everything else out there?
The control boxes are designed to be relocatable. So I think like Warn and like the Badlands Apex 12,000 pound winch, you can relocate them, but they're not necessarily designed for it, right? So they're designed primarily to be on top of the winch. And so just that means that the case that the control box is housed in is a bigger packaging because it's designed to be on the winch, not necessarily relocatable. Whereas Super WINCH's control boxes are more designed to be relocatable, but they also fit well on top of the winch.
Sure.
So it's a little bit smaller packaging, so you can relocate them and put them into tighter spots if you want to.
Yeah.
That was number one. Number two was they come with wireless remotes. So they're included and wired remotes.
Okay, good.
Number three is they have automatic braking,
Nice,
which is a default feature that pretty much all winches are coming with nowadays. But I have been out on the trail with somebody who did not have an automatic braking winch, and I was like, this is bad. This is not good. I like that they are advertising that it's an automatic braking winch, whereas a lot of other companies don't advertise that, even though they do. So I'm just like, it makes it easier for the consumer to figure out what's going on with their winches.
Yes. Okay.
They're IP67 rated, I believe, 66, 67 rated.
So it can handle rain.
Can handle rain, snowy environments, that kind of stuff. And then they also have the option of doing steel cable or synthetic rope.
Nice.
So you can order in either configuration. And they have 10,000 and 12,000 pound winches.
Okay.
So
I like it.
Yeah. So I think Super Winch is the way we're going to go. They've got, from everything I've talked to, they've got pretty good customer service. Their customer service people were awesome to deal with. And it sounds like they're interested in doing some sort of group buy deal. If you guys are interested in the winch, I've been starting a list. So if you've already contacted me, then cool. I have you down on the list. I'll reach out to you once we get all the details and pricing for everything. If anybody else is interested in a Super Winch, get in contact with me and I'll add you to the list, and then I'll coordinate everything with them. So,
okay, great.
Yeah,
cool. That's good news.
Mm-hmm.
That we're actually moving forward on something.
Yeah, right.
Which normally isn't our MO.
Yeah,
cool. That's good to know. Do we want to do any reviews, or we just kind of want to move into what the hell we've been up to?
Let's do a couple of reviews. We don't have any voicemails, so we can do a couple of reviews. I don't have a whole lot of what we've been up to, so
I just have a fun story to tell.
Oh, that'll be okay. I'm excited. I like fun stories. All right, so a couple of reviews here. We got one here from Bello128.
Hey, Bello, thanks.
128. Great show. Cool show. I especially enjoyed the interviews. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yep. We have a I think at least one awesome interview coming up, maybe more from it.
Yes.
So have you been watching those emails?
I think I've been dropped.
Really? Okay. Mm-hmm. I've added you in on.
You looped me back in.
And then you got dropped again?
And I haven't seen anything in over a day, if there's been more.
I don't think there's been anything. I haven't checked my emails today.
Okay. So then maybe I'm still in the loop.
Cool. Anyways, that's going to be a really fun one. If you guys like interviews, it's going to be cool coming up.
Yeah, this one we're both excited about.
Yeah. Next review here, feedback is from Morden02.
What up, Morden?
Awesome podcast, but ... If y'all wanted to talk about some real wheeling machines, you'd be 100% Lexus focused instead of on those silly Toyotas. GX Offroad for the win. In all seriousness, great podcast, especially for when you're working on your rig.
I'm not sure how many Lexus trucks are out there.
No, I don't think there's any, honestly. Okay. So, yeah.
Are there any Lexus 4Runners?
No, okay. Not that I know of.
Just those Lexus Land Cruisers.
Yeah, pretty much. And we'll do last one today from a fan that we love.
Who?
Jacob Gardino.
Jacob Gardino.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
It says, new listener, but love the content and info, tips for wheeling and camping. The Highwater Brewing meet was awesome. Got to see a lot of cool rigs and meet Tyler. Sorry, my fiance got drunk and decided she wanted to start twerking on me mid-convo. Awkward. I don't remember that.
Too bad you missed out.
I know, right? Love the jokes and serious matters regarding leaving no trace and tips for all the new off-roaders. Thanks, Jacob.
We did I did post on our Facebook group about what should we do for episode 400. Mm-hmm. And there was quite a number of people said do another meetup.
Yeah.
And so I think at some point we are going to have to do another meetup.
Yeah.
They seem popular.
Yeah. People like them. So I think doing another one and finding a cool spot to do it, whether it's Highwater Brewing again, that worked out great last time. Mm-hmm. And they have a bigger area now. So they cleaned out that whole spot behind the brewery, and they have a big ass stage back there now too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think we should just send out GPS coordinates.
Oh, and that's it. Just be like, hey, meet you here.
Yep. We'll be here this weekend.
Nice. That'd be fun. So cool. That's all the reviews we'll do for today.
All right.
Thanks you guys for writing in and giving us some fun words.
Heck yeah. We always appreciate that. And just like always, you guys, it's adding reviews is a big way to help grow the podcast, help us get the podcast more noticed. But the best way to help us grow the podcast is to share it with your friends, talk about it, tell people about it. If you have a favorite episode, tell them to go listen to that episode. The more listens we get, the more reviews we get, the better the podcast will become.
Yeah. More people we have listening, the more that we get to do some really cool stuff for you guys, like Power Tool Month coming up, like a couple of fun interviews we have lined up coming in here soon, and a bunch of stuff we've done in the past. So we just get to keep doing really cool stuff when you guys support the channel. So
absolutely
cool, man. Let's see. I haven't been up to much, so I'm going to have to think about it. What have you been up to? I want to hear your fun story.
Well, I just have the sad news about Clifford for the most part.
What, did Clifford die?
Clifford kissed a ram.
Uh-oh. Are we going to end up with little red goat babies?
That'd be kind of cool, though. Yeah, I don't know. I think it just saw this ram, and was like, no, it's not. It shouldn't be on the road.
Shouldn't be on the road.
Pushed it off the road a little ways.
Get out of my way.
Yeah. Let's see. So I went up to Lawless Corey's house and I test fit the 3rd gen Tundra tailgate panel on his truck.
Oh, nice.
And this was a week ago.
Okay.
And then on my drive home, I was exiting to go to the shop. I hit the exit and I was after the little clover relief sort of on that last curve and straight away to a stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt something climbing up my foot and onto my ankle area. And I looked down and it's a massive black widow.
No shit.
Yeah. And so
were you coming back from Corey's at that time?
I was on the way back from Corey's to the shop.
So I think Corey put that in Clifford.
Yeah. So that's where this really becomes completely my fault. I'll finish explaining what went down and then let me tell a little backstory.
Okay.
So I freaked out a little bit.
I don't blame you.
I'm not scared of spiders, but I don't want a black widow on me.
Yeah, you don't want to right? climbing up your leg.
And for our international listeners, the black widow, it's either the most deadly or second most deadly spider we have in California.
Mm-hmm.
And it's maybe up there in the top 5 most deadly animals we have in California.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's nothing like what they have in Australia.
No.
Where they have 11 of the top 15 deadliest snakes
in the world.
Yeah. But it's definitely something that would do damage and, hurt for a long time and make a bad welt. And, if not, I have to go get some medicine or something to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not something you want to have bite you.
Yeah.
It's not like a mosquito where you're like, oh, whatever, it's a mosquito. So I flicked it off.
You don't know what it's like to get bit by a mosquito.
I don't really get bit by mosquitoes. So I flicked it off and I stomped on it. And then I looked up and there was a huge, a U-Haul box truck going straight and a Dodge turning right.
Okay.
And I was like, and at that moment I had there's no place I could go. And so I was like, let's see if I can split the middle. And so I tried to split the middle and didn't quite make it.
Mm-hmm.
I tagged the rear quarter panel of the Dodge. I didn't hit. So he was at an angle and I didn't hit his tailgate. Oh. That's how much of the truck I got.
How much you missed. Yeah.
Yeah. I just I got his bumper. And I got the fender that kind of wraps around, but when it got pushed back, it made it so that the guy wasn't able to open his tailgate. It was a 4x4, so it was higher. So its bumper went down above Clifford's bumper and went down my front fender.
Uh-huh.
And I think at that point, it pushed it enough off out of the way that
missed the rest of your truck.
The rest of my truck didn't get any damage. Yeah. So it's there's a little bit of 1/8 or 3/16 of my fender has damage, and then about halfway back there's a crinkle mark, and then there's no damage behind that. Yeah. I drove Clifford here today. I don't know if you got a chance to go outside.
I saw the light, the headlight. I haven't taken a close look at it.
Yeah, the fender is pushed back and is in the door well, so I can't open the passenger door.
Okay,
that's the biggest issue right now. for the most part. Clifford drives fine. It's totally like everything's functional except for the blinker.
Yeah.
But I can't open the passenger door. So so I'm considering like cutting a part of it and making it so that I can open the door. So let me do some backstory before I talk about what's ahead.
What about the box truck? Did you miss it?
I missed the box truck completely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought about it afterwards, you know, because if I was in Charlotte, I probably would have threaded the needle.
Yeah.
If I was in Bobcat, I would have had plenty of room. Situational wise, right? I think if I would have moved over just a hair more, I would have hit both trucks with my rear view mirrors and gone through. I'm not sure. I'm not positive. It's hard to tell, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't hit my mirror on the box truck, so I had at least that much room
before I
would hit the vehicle. But those have a big bumper, so I'm not, I don't know. But it was going straight, so it's one of those. So I missed the box truck, and I hit the Dodge or the Ram. In hindsight, I think actually, all in all, I had almost the perfect situation of having an accident.
Yeah,
to some extent. Because if I hit the box truck, also, Clifford probably would have been totaled. If I would have just hit the box truck, I would have caused more damage than I've gotten, and it would have cost me more because the box truck to fix a box of a box truck's insane. Just hitting the Ram on that quarter panel, like. Worst case scenario, it gets a whole brand new bed and a bumper.
Yeah.
And best case scenario, they can fix it by pulling the skin off.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah. So that's how that went down. Let me back up a little bit though. So before we went to Moab, I found spider webs in Clifford.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
And I moved them out, and if anybody has ever moved spider webs with their hands, you can tell the difference between a Black Widow spider web and a normal spider web. So I knew there was a Black Widow in Clifford.
That was going to be my question. Was it a Black Widow spider web that you moved out?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
But so I moved it out, and then I cleaned it out good. And then while we were in Moab, like I drove the truck to Moab, left the truck for that 4 or 5 days that we're in Moab, got back in it to drive home. There's no spider webs in there.
Okay.
Right. And then I drive home, and I'll leave the truck in the yard for a while. And then a week or so later, there's spider webs back in it. Right. And so then, okay, well, I took like a stick and I went to town, and I cleaned all these spider webs out. Right. And I'm looking the entire time to find, like, I'm not going to stick my hand up behind the dash and, because there is a Black Widow in there. And so I've been driving Clifford on and off for a few weeks. And occasionally there's cobwebs in there. Okay. Most of the time there's not. Right. And I've never seen the Black Widow.
Yeah.
And I was expecting to see the Black Widow so I could kill it at some point. I wasn't expecting and hopefully, best case scenario, I would have seen the Black Widow just kind of crawling on the ground, and I would stomp it and everything would have been fine. So it was my fault. Hindsight, I probably should have just bug bombed. Actually, I've been doing research now. There's chlorine bombs. I've never heard of this. Yeah. There's a thing called a chlorine bomb, which is what a lot of used car salespeople use to take odors out of cars at the dealer or at their used car dealerships. And chlorine is a gas, and it'll kill most insects. Yeah. So I've now ordered one.
Okay.
And some spray, but they don't advise you to use just a normal fogger or a bomb or anything in your car because it's so small. Most of them are made for a living room and houses, where you put 4 or 5 of them in your house to get rid of it. And, a cab of a access cab truck is super tiny. And so it'll actually, they say it'll burn stuff, or the smell it'll be so powerful that it'll just get into the fabrics and never leave. Yeah. And so they don't advise you to use a bug bomb in a cab. Yeah. All things I'm learning now. So,
did you bug bomb your cab before then? Or?
No, I didn't. I never did. Okay. And that, and I should have, though. I mean, once I found the cobwebs, I should have been I'm not going to get in this vehicle. I'm going to take care of this problem before I drive it ever again or something. And But I drove it a few times and never had problems. So I figured, well, I can continue to drive it and not have problems. And obviously that was my fault.
Yeah.
And then, just taking action into my own hands. And
how did that conversation go with the Ram driver?
I don't think he believed me.
Really?
Yeah. I'd say, there's probably some lawyer out there listening to this that goes, you should never admit guilt. But I'm like, he was stopped at a stop sign and I hit him from behind.
Yeah.
It's quite obviously my fault. Like maybe if it was one of those odd situations where
it was the box truck's fault for being there.
Yeah,
so you couldn't not hit the guy.
Yeah.
So
I ran out. I said, oh my gosh, are you okay? I am so sorry. That is 100% my fault. And I said, I had a black widow on my foot and I shook it off and stomped it. And by the time I looked up, I didn't have time to stop.
Yeah.
And he was like, kind of, yeah, okay. Sort of, I mean, honestly upset.
Yeah.
So I said, let me get my license. Let's pull over. Let me get my license and registration, insurance and all. And we'll take care of business.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, let's drive over here to the shopping center. And so we drove over there to the shopping center. We settled down a little bit. We took photos of the vehicles. He took photos of my license and insurance and registration and all. And then I got him to open up a little bit more, just talk to him a little bit. And I think because he was, calming down. Eventually he was like, it's just been a hell of a week. And I'm like, I'm so sorry to put this on you, and he had a car seat in the back. I'm like, there's nobody else in the car, right? You were the only one. Do you have kids in there? He's like, no, I'm just all alone, and I'm like,
he now has to replace that car seat legally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess legally, but I mean, the thing, it was I was probably going 20 to 30. I don't think I was going over 30.
Yeah.
I understand the legality side of that, but in the scheme of like car accidents, this one was so minor.
Yeah.
It was more than like, oh, the guy bumped into me and no damage happened, but it wasn't that bad. Like I wasn't even sore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think he believed me. I have called my insurance and talked to somebody, and they said that he's called and made the claim and has moved forward. And I said, cool. Well, if you need anything from me, let me know. And I've not heard anything back from them. So,
yeah.
Clifford unfortunately only has liability on it, which now I'm just learning that if you have one car that has full coverage, it takes only a little bit more money to move all your other vehicles up to full coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea about that. Since Charlotte, the Tacoma has full coverage on it, I will be moving probably all the other vehicles up to full coverage after this.
Yeah, there's an episode that we've been wanting to do for a while about vehicle insurance and what to do for off-road vehicles, right? And how do the whole point of insurance is, hopefully you're viewing insurance this way. The whole point of insurance is to protect yourself and your loved ones and your friends that you go wheeling with.
Sure.
And hopefully you're not viewing insurance as, oh, I'd have to have it because the state requires it. If you're viewing it that way, hopefully you change your attitude soon. And I don't want to necessarily go wheeling with you if you're viewing it that way. CJ with a CJ, because of all of his predicament that he was in over the past year. God, has it been more than a year?
I think it's right around a year.
Right around a year now. But he has a lot of insight into how insurance works in big claims for wheeling.
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get CJ on the podcast here in the future as well to talk about wheeling insurance.
Yeah. And
kind of what are the different coverages that we should be looking at, and what are the stuff that's like kind of frivolous. You don't really need it for off-road vehicles.
Right. I've always, I don't know why I had liability on Clifford, because I purchased it for so cheap. I figured that, I think my logic was, well, if I break it,
it's just going to get totaled anyways.
It's just going to kind of get totaled anyways. But now I think the market has skyrocketed on those prices of those trucks that it wouldn't have been totaled. This accident wouldn't total it. I think if I were to take it to a shop, it'd probably be, I don't know, $5,000 to $7,000 to fix is my guess. I don't know I'm not sure. And the truck's probably worth more than that, even with 330,000 miles on it. So I think I would be moving it up. But my logic was always like, if I get in an accident, I want to cover I had medical and everything else. I want to cover all the problems outside of the vehicle. Like I want to cover the guy, cover the other person, but I don't, if the truck gets more damage than that, then it's just going to be a loss.
Yeah.
It's like, what, you know, okay, I'll move on.
Yeah.
So that I think was the logic at the time, but I do want to revisit that for the other vehicles that I have now and Clifford once I get it all fixed up.
Yeah.
I think that's the extent of the story. So, I mean, hindsight, I should have bug bombed or cleaned out the Black Widow first, then I probably wouldn't have had this problem. I've also been in my head about thinking, well, should I have, you know, just let it bite me because it probably would have been cheaper.
No. Medical?
I have pretty good medical insurance.
Maybe.
Like, so I got my surgery date for Bali.
Okay.
And I looked into how much that's going to cost. $20.
What?
Yep. All in all, $20, I believe.
Wow.
So
yeah,
I think a Black Widow bite would have cost me $20 because that's how much it costs to go to the doctor.
Jeez.
Or actually, that's how much it costs. I go to the doctor for free. And if there's other things, then it's like $20.
Wow.
So I don't, you know, I mean, it would have been an interesting, it's an other completely different, interesting direction.
Yeah.
So anyways, moving forward, I'm looking into trying to do a lot of the repairs to Clifford myself. There's not a terrible amount of damage, but one thing that I didn't know, and I talked to Ultra Ford Jones about it because I was staring at the truck because I wanted to take the fender skin off, right? Because it's in the door well. Well, they don't come off.
Oh, are they welded to the?
They're welded to the inner fender.
Wow. Okay.
So, but you can remove the inner fender and outer fender at the same time, but then you have like the front grille just hanging out.
Okay.
Everything that is attached to the inner fender is all disconnected, all the electrical and everything that's there.
Wow.
I believe the wheel well is a separate piece also. So the wheel well would be there. Like the inner lining and things will all be there. And then the firewall's there, but that whole chunk would be gone.
Okay.
And I was like, well, shit. Now, okay. I can't just simply remove the skin and drive around with the inner fender on.
Yeah.
And then I've been looking. So the fender was damaged. The light, the headlight's fine. The blinker and like running lights are damaged. And then there's this like valance or something that's underneath the headlights that got bent up. And I think the bumper is bad too, but I think I might also just be able to push that back up. I'm not sure if it's bent.
Okay.
Or if it's just shit like moved in the bolts. So I need to look at that.
Okay.
I've been looking around for fenders and I found there's one out in Rockland that had a red F-250 of my generation.
Okay.
And the picture was from the driver's side. And so I went out there, $2 to go into pick and pull. And I went and looked at it and I was like, it looks pretty good. Okay. And then I didn't bring any tools or anything. I just went to take a peek at it. Later that day, I called Hustle Nuts and I said, hey, you want to come and look at this fender with me and let's talk it over. And then I'm considering maybe picking the hood up as well because Clifford's clear coat is going out on the hood and on the cab. And so I was like, I might pick up the hood and I would need an extra set of hands to move that hood. It's like, okay, so we go out there and we start, first of all, the hood, its clear coat was coming off. So we're like, well, I mean, I could for like $60, I could substitute one bad clear coat hood for one that's not quite as bad, but had a rust spot on it also. Anyways, the fender though it was red. And then the very bottom had a gray, like a thick, like 5 or 6 inch tall gray strip across it.
Okay.
And then that's all I really noticed. And then when I went back with Hustle Nuts, we kind of were like really getting nitpicky on it. And I did notice there was a dent on the top, but then we noticed that there was some really deep gouges in it from whatever accident it was in. And part of it was dented in further. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to get that.
Okay.
One, because I'd still need to paint it. And if I'm going to paint it, then I might as well get a good looking fender.
Yeah.
So I opened the search up on Pick and Pull and I found that there was another red one in Stockton.
Oh, okay.
And so I called Truck Norris, Mike over there, and I said, hey, do you know anyone in Stockton? I know you're kind of from down in that area. And he's like, I know everybody.
Okay.
And I said, okay, well, hey, can you find somebody that might be willing to go over to Pick and Pull and check out a fender for me for my truck? And he said, sure. And so, like within 10 minutes, some guy messaged me on Instagram, was like, "Hey, Truck North said you were curious if I can run to Pick and Pull. It's like 5 minutes from my house. I'd be happy to check something out for you." And I said, "Cool, man. I'll pay you back for, fees and drive time and gas and whatever." And so he went in, and then it was pretty much the same color tone as the one here in Rockland. So it was red, but then it had the gray strip at the bottom. And then he sent me a few different pictures. For some odd reason, it had like the same dent in the top of the hood. I don't know what there is about that. And then it had some deep gouges as well. And so I was kind of like, okay. From there, I've also done some Facebook research or searching, and I found a few good fenders on the market, and they range from like $45 to $60. Also talked to our friend at LKQ, and he can get me about the same pricing, but none of them are red. So I'd all have to get painted for the most part.
Okay.
So I'm kind of I think I'm for the most part, I'm going to be in a slight hold. I'm going to do I might cut a few gouges out of the fenders and then try to pull that fender forward so I can use the passenger door. And then sort of just wait on the market and see if I can find a red truck that might come along. And if nothing happens in a little bit, then maybe I'll just get some fenders off the market and take them down to our favorite stripper and have them clean them up for me, and then take them over to Dylan or somebody else that can paint them up and make them all pretty and get it all right. So not entirely sure what direction I'm going yet, but I think that's my game plan right now.
I think you should take this opportunity to make Clifford Snail Trail yellow.
Change the name of it.
I guess you'd have to do that too.
I did have a lot of people reach out and go, time for like wide fenders or wide body kit.
Oh, fiberglass. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is though, with fiberglass, and actually Ultra Ford Jones brought it up too when he was joking. When you remove the fender, it removes the inner fender. And so when you do a wide body fiberglass kit, there's no inner fender
to attach to.
Okay,
gotcha,
you need to. Another company started making strictly inner fenders for the truck with no skin, so that you can put the fiberglass kit onto that. But if you just do a wide, my understanding, I haven't looked into it because I'm not going that route. But from what it sounds like, if you do a wide body kit, you either need to cut off the fender and attach it somehow, or you're not running an inner fender. I'm not sure how that all works.
Yeah, I wonder if you end up having to kind of almost build like an engine cage or something.
Yeah. I'm not know. But I'm not going down that route. Clifford maybe I'll do a little bit more horsepower in the future with like a Hydra kit or Billy Dog system or something. But it's meant to be a pretty bone stock vehicle that's reliable for towing.
Yeah.
That's its purpose. I'm not going to Baja race this with a wide body setup and longer, put the whatever Ford or dual I-beam suspension or whatever on it. No, that's not happening.
The Miso Customs build.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So unfortunately my insurance rates are probably going to go up a little bit. I don't know how much, a lot of it. And then, Clifford's got a boo-boo now for a little while. I got a boo-boo from the accident.
Did your knee go into the dashboard or something?
I don't know.
Did you bite it? Did you bite it like your arm?
I didn't bite it. No. Maybe I can get my mouth down there. I'm not sure if it went into my brake controller when I hit the Dodge or the Ram, or if I hit my center console with my knee when I went to stomp on the Spider.
Oh.
I'm not sure when it happened because I think maybe not. So, also, I killed the Spider.
Yep.
But I could not find it.
What?
I know I killed it. I stomped on it.
You stomped on it, but did you kill it?
Oh, I hit it pretty good.
Okay.
But somehow between me stomping on the Spider, me stomping on my brakes, and then me hopping out to check on the guy that I hit, I think the Spider was on my shoe and came off somewhere. Okay.
You didn't check the scene of the crime?
Oh, I looked under the seat. I looked like all around the floor there in the driver well there. I looked on the brake pedal. I didn't look on the ground where we, at the accident site. at that point I was it was after we were in the shopping center. I was like, where's the spider at? Like I wanted to show the dude to prove like, look, I kid you, here's the dead Black Widow.
While you're looking around for those spider, this dude's like, God, this guy's on drugs.
Maybe. Yeah. So I'm definitely, because somebody said it on one of the posts that when there's one spider,
there's more.
And not necessarily, and this was a black one, right? So male, I know that male Black Widows aren't black.
They're brownish.
Like a brown color. And this one was very distinctly black, like jet black color.
Yeah. Female.
And so female. So eggs, question mark? I have no idea. So really I've got a few days till that chlorine bomb comes in, and I drove Clifford here today. So after today, I'm going to park it. I'm going to let it sit for like a week, see if cobwebs come. If no cobwebs come, regardless, if there's no cobwebs, I know that there's no big spider laying making cobwebs, but I'm still going to
bomb it.
I'm going to wait for that a week or so, because I don't know how long the eggs germinate or gestate. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Gestate's your stomach, eggs. Right?
Gestation is for live births.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know what egg would be.
Yeah, I don't. How long it takes an egg, the spider eggs to hatch. But from killing the widow, it's now been a week, and then it'll be at least another week before I do the bug bomb. So I'm hoping 2 weeks will be, if there were eggs, that they might be hatched, and then I'll chlorine bomb the truck, and then I'll do a really, really good cleaning after that has been sitting, and hopefully I don't have any problems.
Nice.
It was funny though, because I was reading online, like, how do you get rid of spiders in your vehicle? And the first like line item on everybody's list is take all the crap out of your car. I'm like, well, I don't have there's not a lot of stuff in there. I've, some axle shafts under the seat and my trailer hitch, and I don't know, a cable lock for a spare tire, and it's about it.
Yeah.
So that one, because I was like, well, that's not my problem. Like they're not.
Let's go to page 3 on Google here.
Yeah, exactly. But they were saying like spiders can hide in places you can't reach and see. So they're going to be, in a location that the only chemicals for the most part are going to be able to get to. So chlorine bomb it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, cool. That sounds like a fun story.
Yeah, man. There's my story.
I don't have anything close to that. So
it was an interesting week, because MF Sean got rear-ended 2 days before I got in a car accident. I sent Sean a picture and I said, "You win."
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody, it was funny because everybody I sent a photo to at first was like, "Oh no, did you get sideswiped?" I'm like, no, it was my fault.
Yeah. Earlier in the episode, you said, that it was super minor. You weren't sore at all or anything. And I was like, yeah, way to rub it into Sean, man.
Yeah. Well, his was violent, man. His
he got hit hard.
His back of his, the hatch of his car was pushed up to trunk, like the back seat of his car.
Yeah.
Mine's like part of my fender is bent.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, he's been getting put through the ringer. Like insurance is just messing up everywhere.
I'm sure. And that's, and I feel bad for the guy I hit in that regards too. Cause I'm sure, it's like, even though nothing was his fault, and same with Sean, right? Nothing was his fault. It's just they don't want to pay.
Nope. Their job is to pay out as little as possible, as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And so, they're doing all these tactics to Sean to get him to accept a payment from them. Because as soon as he does, then it's essentially closed and accepting the terms of everything. And he's like, no, I don't accept. And they've like paid him out. And even though he's been saying, no, I don't accept this. I don't accept this. And they still paid him out and put it into his bank account. And he goes, you guys can't do that. Like,
right.
And they're trying to say that it's like, I'm guessing they're trying to say that it's all closed up now. And he's like, no, it's not.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. And it's kind of
fucked.
To some extent, it's funny on my end, because it's like, I've called twice and sent text messages and twice to my claims agent, not my insurance agent, but the person that's handling this claim. Yeah. And she's never called me back. And I don't know if she needs a statement from me or anything, but at this point in time, after a few days of calling in and text messaging, trying to get a hold of the person, trying to just at least give my insight or feedback or whatever. Yeah, they're not messaging me. I'm like, okay, fine. Like, you'll get in contact with me if you need me.
Yeah.
But there's nothing on my end I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I forgot who I was talking to. I think it was somebody at a bar, and I was telling him about the story. And we were talking about insurance, and it's like, how much do you pay in insurance? Like $100? Well, what if you put, and it's been, and I think I figured out, but last time I was in an accident was in like 2004, 2000, let's say 2003, 20 years ago. So if I put $100 in the bank for once a month for 20 years, I'd have $20,000 roughly, if not more. 10 years, 20 years. I'd have more than that.
Yeah.
$40,000 or something. I don't know.
20 to 30, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Okay. $20,000 to $30,000. I could pay for his and mine.
Probably. Yeah. The problem, the expensive part is when it becomes into medical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when things skyrocket in price. So
yeah. So
yeah,
the basic fender bender. Yeah. I would be able to cover myself. But if it was drastically worse, if it was bad, then I probably wouldn't have enough to cover it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the insurance game is so weird.
It is. Yeah, man. Well, cool. My weekend, I was supposed to work on my axle.
Okay.
And get all that up, but my steer arm studs didn't come in until Monday.
Wah wah.
So, I could have, set up the knuckle. I could have set up the bottom bearing cap and, put the kingpin on and the bronze bushing, but then I wouldn't have been able to put the steer arms on for the top cap. So I just kind of let it sit and didn't touch it. So now I have in the studs for the steer arms, and I have my axle shafts arrived today.
Oh, is that what just came in? Okay. Yep. Fun.
So the front shafts are here from Brannick. So officially I have everything to finish the axles.
Cool. That's exciting.
Yep. So I need to get working on that this week. So this week is going to be finishing up the axles and then start tear down of the 4Runner. And then I believe I'm going to have 2 weekends to do that and get it ready before Ori, I think, is going to be ready to grab it. And then first week of June.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
exciting.
That is exciting. I'm excited to see all that 4-wheel underground stuff happen and go underneath the rig. And we should figure out we should have the 4Runner over here and forklift it up and get some measurements, do a before and after kind of measurement check and frame height and any other things we can kind of think of that what might change.
I like that idea a lot.
And wheel width and, length and everything.
I like that idea a lot. I think we definitely should do that. I want to get all the stats now and see how it all changes after the axles and suspension are under.
Yeah.
So, I'll get all the axles done this weekend, and then I'll do the teardown next week. And so I'll bring the 4Runner next time we record.
Okay.
And then we can go out and get all the measurements, the forklifted up and get all the measurements and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Corey's coming next week.
Oh, cool.
So we have a busy schedule.
Yeah. We'll get him on that too. We'll make him operate the forklift and see if he breaks anything.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Man. So yeah, things are rolling along. Stuff is starting to melt here in the Sierras.
Yeah. I've seen some photos of people driving all the way down to the spillway.
Yep. There's still quite a few patches of snow up in the Rubicon area and, up on the higher elevation. So you're looking at, 7,000, 7,500 feet and above. We're still looking at like anywhere from 6 to 15 feet of snow up there still. Yeah. Like some of those passes.
I've heard that, there's still, I'm guessing for the most part now, but there's still like 5 to 9 feet of snow on the Ellis Creek Bridge.
Probably. Yeah. It's crazy.
The last report I heard was over a week ago that there was like 9 feet still.
Yep.
So a matter of days, but it's been hot a few days. So maybe a foot or so has melted. I don't know.
Yeah. It's melting quick though. All the rivers are freaking raging.
Oh yeah.
And all the reservoirs are pretty much full.
Yeah, they've been putting warnings out on the news about this Memorial Day. Don't go to the river.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty crazy what the rivers are doing right now. So I did have one other update. I mentioned on a previous episode that I got a solar trickle charger.
Yes.
And I had just essentially put it on. And so I haven't driven the 4Runner in like a week and a half since I put it on, intentionally because I wanted to see if the battery would die. Yeah, how it would work out. And so far, I haven't gotten a notification that the battery is low on the 4Runner yet.
Cool.
So the security system in the 4Runner gives me notifications whenever the battery voltage drops below a certain level. And I haven't gotten one of those. And I usually get them in about 5 to 6 days if I park it for that long.
Interesting.
So it's been about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, and I haven't gotten a notification yet. So I'm going to go home today and start the 4Runner and see if it starts right up or if it has a slow crank or what. Okay. And so, but so far it seems like it's doing awesome.
Cool.
And it's fantastic. It just sits on the top of the 4Runner on the roof. And then I've got the cables going down the back and hooked up to one of the batteries, the starter battery. And
you just need to remember to take it off before you drive away.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, in regards to updates along those lines, I have received everything for my hot water tank thing that I'm trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do some tests. I'm going to try and figure out a way to run some tests for the heating unit and running it like in a 5-gallon bucket or something. I'm not sure how I want to set that up, but see how long it'll take things to heat up or kind of how much energy it might take to heat a chunk of water up and run that. I'll talk to you off air, and I'm sure other listeners have an easy solution, but it's a 12-volt heating unit. So I don't exactly have the easiest way to set up to run tests besides maybe running a vehicle.
Yep.
I'm considering, and I think I can jimmy rig something with my lithium cube from Wagon Tech.
Maybe. I'm guessing that thing is probably going to pull 600 to 1,000 watts.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
Okay.
So I don't know if the Wagon Tech cube can output that much sustained. So it'll be,
So that's something I need to figure out.
You found a 12-volt heating source?
Yeah.
Interesting. Mine is is it 12 volt? Or is it a 110? I think mine was 110 because it does have a high wattage, so it needed to be 110 so you run lower amps. But yeah, there's a couple different ways to do it. Way you could hook it up to a couple of batteries, hook them up in parallel so you get 12 volt out of it.
Yep.
That way you just have more amp hours to run off of it, and then you could also set up a battery charger on the batteries and run it at 20 to 30 amps, something like that, and that'll give you more run time.
Yeah.
At least enough to be able to test it and see how long it takes to heat a gallon of water or 5 gallons of water or whatever your test is.
My thought behind this isn't necessarily to heat water quickly. It's more for, I've got an hour or 5-hour drive ahead of me.
When do you turn it on to get hot water?
Yeah, pretty much. And with the control unit, I'm sort of hoping that it kind of is going to be on almost all the time.
I see. Yeah.
And then it's going to notice when it drops down and it'll start heating itself back up. At least that's my logic. And then once you turn the vehicle off, it's cooling down.
Gotcha. So it wouldn't run at all when the vehicle's off.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want it to draw power off the battery when the vehicle's off.
Yeah.
Unless I have a separate battery set up just for kind of it.
Yeah.
At least that's my thought process for the primary run, for the first prototype version.
Yeah. Get a, do you have a multimeter that can read amps? Okay.
I don't know how to read it, but it works.
Well, does it read amps though? So it has like the claws on the end that goes around the wires. Okay.
No, it's just got the probes, I think.
Those do not read amps.
Oh.
Yeah. So in order to read amps, you have to have ones that it kind of like clamps and loops around the wire, and it reads the power draw as it's going through the wire.
Okay.
So it's almost like an induction reading.
Yeah.
So I might have one here at the warehouse you can borrow.
I'm not at the stage of putting it together yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's all the announcements I have.
Cool. Well, that's going to be exciting to get put together. I want to put mine together too, but I need to get a tank. I still have the heating element and the controller. I need to get a tank.
Okay.
So I need to figure out what I want to do for that and where I want to put it. And
yeah,
I just need to start looking into it. So.
I just got a random tank offline that wasn't terribly expensive. But what I liked about mine is that it has like a really big I don't know, like an 8-inch diameter cap.
Oh, fill cap?
Fill cap on the top.
Yeah.
And that I like that because if depending on how I put the heating element on the inside, I can actually work inside the tank because the cap is large enough that I can stick my arm inside there.
Yeah.
And so it allows me to do the work inside the tank as well, which I thought was kind of nice.
Nice. Cool, man. Good stuff. So that does it for today's episode.
Yep.
We got some more fun things. I got some fun information that's been, I know that some people have had some questions on that we'll get on Monday's episode. I definitely have had questions on it. So I got enlightened a little bit. So we'll do that on Monday, and hopefully everybody has a great, is it Memorial Day weekend? This weekend? Next weekend?
The upcoming weekend. This weekend.
Happy Memorial Day to everybody. So hopefully you have a safe 3-day weekend. And you have lots of fun plans planned for the summer. So it's kind of the kickoff of summer camping season. So if you guys want to get a hold of us and give us any feedback, any information, just say hi. You can do that through our voicemail, 916-345-4744. You can also reach us over on the Instagram. Jimmy kind of watches over the Snail Trail 4x4 account, and I watch over the 4x4 Toyota Tyler account. And we also have the emails as well. So Jimmy or Tyler at snailtrail4x4.com. Good stuff, man. Jimmy, Jet, do you have any final words for everybody out there?
I think it's time that I fix Bobcat.
And with that, my friends, keep crawling. Jokes?
I got a joke.
You do?
I do.
Cool.
You ready?
Ready?
You sure?
No.
Did you know diarrhea is hereditary?
Oh, God. Okay.
It runs down the genes.
It's not, it runs in the genes.
Could be the same.
This is the same thing. Oh, that's funny.